Hi guys, Bobby Gas here. I got some records in the mail the other day from Patrick, the vinyl archivist. He does not yard sales. He does auctions. I've actually bought quite a few records off of him, right? And he's always sending a record he won't sell because the record don't sound as great, or it might have a scratch in it, or it might be a little too noisy. And then he cleans them up and sends them. I mean, he sent me stuff that sounded fantastic. That I don't know why he didn't sell on in his auctions, right? But that's Patrick. He's just a nice guy like that, eh? Anyhow, let's go through the records I bought, eh? Problem with Patrick though is when you order something off of Patrick, he mails it, right away, type like a day or two, and it spends about 10 days in California going from spot to spot to spot, and then it leaves. I remember one time then it left the state of California, because that's where he's from, sending them from. And then it spent a week or 8 days in California, then went to another state, I forget which one, and then went back to California before it was shipped up, I don't know, someplace else. But it takes like close to 3 weeks for Patrick when he sends something, and anybody else that sends something from the States, it's a short time. But he's using a cheap joint to send his records with, so it costs me and everybody else less money to send stuff, and maybe that's why. So you know, so for the extra 10 days or 2 weeks it takes for it to come here, do I? Well, what the fuck am I talking about? Show the records, Bobby. I get on these red herons and I just take right off, huh? Teachers used to hate me in school. Well, they used to be very disappointed in me. They said I was the smartest kid in the class, and I just didn't try or do that. The hell with it. Get to the records, Bob. Oh well. When I was at Patrick's auction there, he had a record for sale. He says, I got a Blue Note. That's a Blue Note record. I don't own any Blue Note records. I gave all my jazz records away years ago. Some pretty rare stuff, actually. It's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down into. I mean, I knock the jazz all the time, you know, but I like it. Some of it. The bebop jazz, no, that's nonsense to me. I guess I just ain't sophisticated enough or cool enough. Anyhow, let's show you this damn album, eh? It's a Blue Note, right? I didn't own any Blue Notes, and I wanted to own one, and I think I only paid something like $12 for this, eh? I don't know what it's called. One Night with Blue Note, Volume Two. Let's have a look at the album itself. Oh, look at that! It's got an inner too. Well, that's the original sleeve. It's all pretty. This must be a new album, or relatively new. Let's pull this damn thing out. Sorry, guys, I'm taking so long to show all of this shit, but that happens sometimes, don't it? Get in there. There we go. Blue Note. See, that's what a Blue Note is. I got one. That's what I'm ever gonna. Well, I guess I'll play it. Check it out. See what it's all about. Next record up here is Grease Grease. Gris Gris. I used to say Gris Gris, but I think it's pronounced Gree Gree. Now, I had been looking for this album here for decades, actually, right? An original copy of this. I've been looking for decades for this record. And about, I don't know, 8, 9 months ago, maybe a year ago, Patrick was telling me that because I had asked him to play this, to, if he had it, Walk on Gilded Splinters is a song I love off of this. And I asked him to play it or, to get one of them and sell it or whatever. And he told me, he hasn't come across it in a long time and that the repress, they made a repress of it, that the repress sounds fantastic. And I ain't a big fan of represses because they don't sound fantastic compared to the originals. Well, for me, anyhow. Other people might say otherwise. But anyhow, so Patrick, I told Patrick, I says, buy the record for me. And I forget what it was, 30 bucks, something like that. 35, maybe more, I don't know. Maybe less, I don't know. And Patrick, I said, buy the record for me and hang on to it. And the next time you're shipping me records, I buy at your auction, just add it, right? And I'll pay you for everything. And he did. So I got the repress back there someplace. And it's stereo. The repress is stereo. This is mono. And it's on the old Atco label. There's Dr. John, the Night Tripper, right there. I mean, Walk on Gilded Splinters. I remember, oh, what year is this album? 67, something like that. I can remember, though, that they did a video, a film or something, very, very, very early, right after this record come out. And Dr. John was dressed like voodoo stuff and long robes and there was smoke and Africa scene and doing Walk on Gilded Splinters. And it is the most incredible music video I ever saw in my whole life, for me. I've searched YouTube for years, trying to find that video, but it just ain't there. I mean, I've seen lots of Dr. John Walk on Gilded Splinter videos, but the one that I'm talking about, I've never seen. Whoops. Gotta watch my cigarettes. You're always burning things with cigarettes. At least I am. Next up here is Quicksilver Messenger Service. Now, I didn't have this album. I haven't owned this album for, 50 years almost, right? Over 40 years. No, yeah, 50 years. And, to me, it's not an incredibly great album, but I mean, I always loved the cover on this, and, I'm a collector, I guess, so you gotta have it. That's on the old Columbia. Here's the back of it. Yeah, I bought this one. The next two, I didn't buy. Patrick sent them. He knows I'm a Uriah Heep, and I bought a lot of Uriah Heep albums off him that I didn't have. And he sent me, well, maybe I did buy one of them, I don't know. Uriah Heep, I have this one already, and I have this one too, right? These were sent, maybe I bought one, I don't remember. I never remember that kind of stuff. Uriah Heep, I love Uriah Heep. I've told a story about how they ruined my hearing down in 72. The Massey Hall, and the chick sitting next to me was on fire. Literally on fire. But this band here, I have albums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 2 more after that. Lionel Richie, he left a comment on one of my uploads of one of the Uriah Heep's tunes. Might have been Gypsy, I forget now. And he said that he never really got into it, never gave him a fair chance, Uriah Heep, right? Vinyl Richie, Pat, well, he's a punker. He's into the punk rocker. He shows stuff. I mean, he likes, the old legitimate rock and roll, standard stuff too, Led Zeppelin, Stones, Beatles, the rest of that crap. But he's really into the punk rocker stuff. Pat is. You know, not me though. Some of it I don't mind, and some of it I can't stand. This one I bought. I love this guy. Robin Trower, Victims of Fury. Ringwear, I don't give a shit about ringwear. I don't play ringwear, right? And that's on the Chrysalis label. Robin Trower, he played with Ronnie Hawkins. A lot of guys have played with Ronnie Hawkins. I love his tone, eh? Robin Trower's tone. I seen all these guys. Well, I didn't see these guys. The collections of the Young Rascals. I always loved the Young Rascals. Always. They did one of my favorite songs of the 60s, the hippie days. Groovin'. That's not on this album. I have, another couple of Young Rascals albums that have it, and I also have the 45 of Groovin'. But there you go. There's my records, my latest bunch of records that I grabbed off of the auction. I still have one record on Patrick's last auction. I only bought one record, and he isn't, he hasn't sent it or told me to pay. I guess we'll wait till the next auction, and I'll buy a couple more records off him before he sends me that one. Anyhow, guys, there you go. I'll go down to the river today and do a little bit of fishing, and it's going to be nice for the next bunch of days, right? I mean, we had some nice weather 7 weeks ago. Really warm weather in the 70s. And when that happened, it was like a week or so, right? We had some warm weather, 10 days maybe. The fishing really picked up. But then the weather got cold again, and when the weather fucking got cold, the fishing got lousy, but the weather got warm again. So I'm expecting in the next couple of days the fishing to really turn on.